While civilian aircrafts of this nature currently have had disrupted operations, but Operation Sindhu has been ramped up instead to ensure the safe return of Indian citizens from the war-torn region. A special evacuation flight from Mashhad in Iran arrived in Delhi carrying 292 Indian citizens. Remember, they would be from different cities in Iran. They've been safely brought back home. The total number of Indians with this now stand, and from Iran, 2,295. Responding to the increasing volatility in West Asia, the Indian Air Force deployed C-17 aircraft to operate missions from Jordan and Egypt as well in case the land border is used. These efforts are not only aimed at evacuating Indian nationals, but also at assisting citizens of friendly nations like Sri Lanka and Nepal. Indian Air Force's C-17 flight evacuating 165 Indian nationals from Israel. This is the Globemaster arriving in Delhi from Amman. Returnees were welcomed by Minister of State Dr. L. Murugan upon arrival. Indian Air Force also reiterating the role as a committed first responder, ready to extend support, whether it's domestic or international in terms of crisis. But always remember how easy India makes this look. But an evacuation mission, when there are missiles being fired, all you can see right now is the coordination that is being done on the ground.
Situation, so as everybody know, it was very bad there. But I think the Indian embassy, together with the Indian government, they helped us a lot for the evacuation, be it travel or coming to the embassy or going to the Jordan border, or even the Jordan embassy, the Indian embassy in Jordan, they helped us a lot. It was overall a good experience. And then we had the evacuation from the plane, that is C-17. It was good.
If you are Indian citizen, if you want stocked in Mars, then we will evacuate you. और अभी जो जेपी सिंह सर है हमारे, जो जिनके दी डिप्लोमेट मूवी में जिनका रोल किया गया था, तो वो इजराइल में थे अभी, तो हमें काफ़ी भरोसा था कि हम आ जाएंगे अगर सिचुएशन ज़्यादा एस्केलेट होता है तो थैंक्स टू इंडिया गवर्नमेंट दे ब्रिंग बैक होम.
So, on the lunch break, I'm now joined by my colleague Amit Bhardwaj. He's tracking all the latest from the Civil Aviation Ministry. Amit, so on one hand, there are, of course, disruptions when it comes to civilian aircrafts, but look how the mission evacuation is happening. It's incredible, to say the least. What are people saying? What has been the coordination like? And are we expecting more of these flights to arrive?
Pooja, if you look at the past 3 to 4 days, the development itself indicate as to how, India started Operation Sindhu and how things have materialized in the past 4 days itself. 3 days back, you had a craft coming from Iran, which had nearly 290 people, most of them students, and also those from the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Each of these students who had returned, who were evacuated from Iran, had, showed their gratitude to the Indian government, the way embassy had coordinated the entire Operation Sindhu. Then the second craft had 285, Indian citizens, 160 Indian citizens. And today, the visuals that we have in front of us from the Air Force C-17 craft, 165 Indian citizens were evacuated from Israel. So this time around, the evacuation was from Israel, but we also given to understand that the crafts from Jordan and Egypt is also expected to reach home soon, and this would ensure the safe return of those living in Egypt and Jordan as well, obviously through precautionary measures. And we know for a matter of fact that the airspace as far as the Middle East is concerned, or if you are living in North of America, around the coast of North of America, or even Europe, there's largely airspace disruption, restriction, because of which the private aircrafts or the operators, civil aviation operators, such as, if we speak in India's term, Indigo, Air India, all of these craft operators had to cancel their regular flights. In fact, Air India has cancelled its Middle East crafts flights for North of America as well as Europe. And in this situation, this problem becomes even more bigger. If you want to return back home, who do you rely on? And that's when Operation Sindhu as well as India's establishment chips in for safe return of our own who were living in the state of Iran as well as Israel. Back to you.
So, Amit, are we looking at Iran, Israel specifically? Are we looking at neighbor nations as well? We've been talking about Jordan, Egypt. That is where India is also set to embark. And I also want to bring in here about how India is also ensuring whether some of the Sri Lankan or Nepalese citizens, for example, are also being evacuated. And that says a lot as well, isn't it?
Right, Pooja. You know, the war between Iran and Israel this time around was not, obviously, we know it was not a frontier war, rather being fought through the airspace. And there are always chances of things getting out of hand,
Correct.
escalating with every passing day. Because remember, as to how projectiles and missiles were being targeted on cities of, Iran and Israel, vice versa. So in that case, things can escalate to any situation. That is why you had precautionary measures of evacuation happening from Egypt, Jordan as well. Plus, the kind of, as I mentioned, the kind of airspace restriction has also sort of sent across a message of if you want to come back to home, it's quite crippling because the airspace is not operational, flights are not working. So in that case as well, this particular evacuation that's being carried out by the Indian Air Force from Jordan and Egypt, that's also quite helpful in that context as well. But we must say this fact that in the past 4 days,
Yes.
what we have seen a very, execution which has been completely smoothly, the entire operation has been executed.
That's
in a
what's
very smooth
incredible
manner.
about it, Amit. I'm sure there is a full team, whether in Iran or Israel, at the borders from India, that's ensuring that the citizens, irrespective of any differences, together get a seat on the Globe Master to be able to return home. Then that speaks highly of our nation as well. Thank you very much, Amit, for the latest coming in.